From scheduling my everyday tasks to getting organized in the physical sense, there are so many things I want to do to help me reach my potential this year. For me, it's been about starting off the year with an open mindset, goal setting, dreaming big, allowing myself to picture my future with abundance. But the true question is, how do I get there? Since it's the start of the new year, it's usually the time when I really start to think about my priorities and my intention for my greatest resource, time. It's also the time that I really start to reflect on all of those little things that I have been neglecting and wanted to do the past year. Looking back on 2020, there were habits that I definitely let slip, like daily activity. I think I did okay on drinking water every day, meditation, reading, and allowing the things in my life that serve me, and putting down the things that are just becoming way too heavy. Mind you, we are going through a freaking pandemic, so it's definitely okay to give yourself a break if you slipped on those, because I know I'm going to. As I started to really reflect on the year as a whole and break it down, because the year that we've all experienced is something that none of us in our lifetime have experienced before. But when I really started to break it down, if I don't make actionable changes for pushing myself forward and choosing myself on a daily basis, I'm just gonna live the exact same life that I have been day after day. So that's what really got me on to thinking about my future self. With all of the chatter on how to live in the present, I get it. You might be screaming at your screen saying, no, live in the now, my friend. But in all honesty, I'm really getting ready to grow in 2021. And the only thing that's going to make that happen is the small decisions that I make every single day that will serve long period growth, because they'll continue to compound into extraordinary results. Before I started working for myself more, I was always someone who worked harder, worked longer. For someone else, I would prioritize their needs over mine. Enter my new learnings about future journaling. I first heard of future self journaling from Jenn on YouTube. Shout out to Jenn, I will link her down below, she's amazing. Her journey of self-discovery then led me down into doing some more research, and that brought me into learning more about the practice from the holistic psychologist. And mind you as well, I have always been so interested in self-development, self-help books, learning more about slow growth and self-growth, so this was such an easy read and research project for me. From my understanding, future journaling is a tool that allows you to start becoming a little more self-aware, and that awareness is brought into your everyday decisions. It's in that expanded consciousness that we can truly be present in our decision making and harness the empowerment we feel when we make a choice for ourselves. I think we all know that most of us have a little work to do when it comes to living in the moment, but one of my biggest takeaways from all of this and thinking about this year is that small decisions that we make every single day, ordinary decisions that we make, can have a compound interest in the positive or negative sense to build to something extraordinary or not so much. And also, this is my first time future journaling as well, so I'm very excited to see the results, and in a future video, I'm going to tell you about how I have already started seeing them. So you may be asking, where do I begin? The best part about adding this as a new habit to your lifestyle is it doesn't cost anything. You can do it on your phone, computer, or in a notebook. Personally, I opt to do this in a notebook because so many neuroscience studies have shown us that physically writing with a pen connects to our brains differently, but it's totally up to you. I think a good place to start with any new habit or any new practice really is to lay a foundation. For the setup of your future journal, one thing that's very recommended is that you think about one thing, a behavior or a pattern that you have been doing that you kind of want to shift focus on. Here's mine. I want to stop giving my energy to people and jobs that no longer serve me or help me grow. In the setup process as well, I wrote some affirmations based on the guidance of the holistic psychologist, and it's a nice counterbalance. These are my affirmations in the setup. I am capable, worthy, and creative. I am strong enough to overcome fear and put down what is not serving me. I am open to learning and starting fresh. I am safe within this risk and allow myself time to have slow growth. Let's talk about the infinite game for a second, and then I'll share with you my daily journal prompts that I've been answering. The Infinite Game is a book written by Simon Sinek. The book talks a lot about how many people and organizations focus on their competition, the ones to the left and right of them, and sometimes even the ones that are directly behind them. He talks about organizations that focus on continuing to best themselves versus being worried about what others are doing. And I think a lot of this addresses the comparison that we experience on an every single day basis that may be pulling us back from seeking our full potential. He writes, "An infinite mindset embraces abundance, whereas a finite mindset operates with a scarcity mentality. In the infinite game, we accept that being the best is a fool's errand, and that multiple players can do well at the same thing." Honestly, I thought that this quote really took away a lot of the pressure, and all we really need to do is focus on that next step of how we can have an infinite mentality versus a finite mentality, and that's, I think, what this practice does. When setting a habit, it's pretty unwise just to say, I'm going to blank. I'm going to work out, I'm going to read, I'm going to meditate. It's so much better to actually put actionable steps, measurable goals, and that's what I'm going to do in my future journal. I am going to future journal every single day. Also, language within building a habit is so important too. I fall into this all the time where I use passive language like, I'm going to try this habit, instead of I'm going to do this habit. And when we use that more assertive language, it gives that statement confidence. Dan Gilbert in his Future Self TED Talk also said, "Human beings are works in progress that mistakenly think they're finished." So here's our work for the day. This takes about 5 to 8 minutes for me, and I found that when it comes to creating a new habit, it's really important to have a guideline to follow. So these are my 6 daily prompts. My daily affirmation: today I will focus on what am I grateful for? The person I am becoming will experience more. I have the opportunity to be my future self today when I think about who I am becoming, I feel. With starting this new habit, I'm personally excited to give it a go for 30 days and see what happens. In 30 days and beyond, when we consciously make the decision to do something over and over again, we are harnessing the power of neuroplasticity. Our brains are described as plastic, and if you've ever heard the phrase neurons that fire together, wire together, well, then you have heard about neuroplasticity. When we make these decisions every single day, it's so cool because we're actually forging new pathways that embrace this more intentional way of living. If you're gonna give this a try, promise me one thing: you aren't going to be too hard on yourself. If you skip a day, if you miss a day, don't worry about it. And just know that there is no perfect time of day. Consistency would be really cool. I like to do mine in the morning because I feel like it sets a nice intention for the rest of my day and gives me that clear mind just to start. But if you've got time on your lunch break, or say a better time is at nighttime because you like setting that intention the day before, honestly, whatever suits your lifestyle. There is no perfect way of doing this, so even if you're skeptical, just give it a try. There's literally nothing that you lose from taking this 5 minutes out of your day. Some things that have helped me and my journaling process has been leaving the journal out on the counter. If I can just see it, it doesn't get lost in the chaos of my life, and I know I'm just gonna do it in the morning versus out of sight, out of mind. And if you're someone who might need a bit of a reminder, just add a little reminder in your calendar. If you're okay on a daily basis, but when life gets really busy, you need to add a reminder, that works too. Slow growth guru, oh my God, say that 5 times fast, Matt Diabella here on YouTube also is very much for implementing new habits. And he says that 30 to 100 days, if you can have a plan to implement that habit for that long, you're going to, 1, be able to see some of the results, and 2, kind of decide whether it fits into your lifestyle. And I couldn't agree more. So that's what I'm going to do. You, hopefully, if you made it this far, you might be more interested in future journaling. And I'm gonna do a check back in 30 days to see how it's going. Already I've seen some changes, but I'm excited for long, slow growth with this. So let's be accountability buddies. Let me know in the comments below if you are going to give this future journaling a try. We'll do a check back at 30 days, 100 days, and even in 2022. What up, future self? And yeah, speaking of the future and being our future selves, I'll see you guys in my next video. Let me know if you're gonna do this down there, or if you've tried it, or how are you doing? See you in the next video. Bye guys.